Chapter 1 Captured in Wuhun Palace. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Tang Hao, you'll pay for my son's life. The shout echoed from afar, followed by a flash of golden light, boom. The mountain exploded, sending rocks tumbling down. Several struck the back of a massive man clutching two infants, Qian Daolu. How could it be? He's here to kill me. Is Qian Xuanji really dead? The injuries I inflicted shouldn't have been fatal, Tang Hao thought, his mind racing. Standing in the blinding golden light was a handsome, middle-aged man, appearing to be in his 40s, with 3 pairs of wings on his back. His eyes burned with murderous intent and hatred, and Tang Hao felt suffocated by the sheer force of his aura. Qian Daolu, one of the 3 peerless Douluo, a legend among soul masters, practically a god. Using the mountain for cover, Tang Hao channeled his mental energy, running like hell. Another blade of light flashed, barely missing Tang Hao, but he couldn't dodge the falling rocks. With a baby in each arm, he couldn't even summon the clear sky hammer. He could only take the blows, spitting up blood. No, I'm dead if this keeps up. Tang Hao glanced at his 2 terrified, crying sons, then at the river at the base of the mountain. His face was etched with pain, but underneath, a fierce resolve hardened his features. Forgive me, Ain, and forgive me, sons. With a flick of his right hand, he released his spirit, the clear sky hammer, and 9 soul rings materialized around him, 2 yellow, 2 purple, 4 black, and 1 blazing red. Tang Hao leaped into the air, bellowing, Qian Daolu, come and get me. Tang Hao, for the sake of a damn soul beast, you dare defy the spirit hall, and you dare murder my son. Qian Daolu's eyes were bloodshot, raising his sacred sword high. A boundless aura erupted, ready to obliterate Tang Hao with a single strike. Tang Hao roared back, I don't care if she's a soul beast or not, all I know is she's my wife. If Qian Xuanji laid a hand on her, he deserved to die. Qian Daolu didn't waste another word, the sacred sword descended. Tang Hao took one last look at his sons drifting away, his eyes turning crimson. Realm of the God of Death, activated. Great Sumera hammer, 9 rings, explode. All 9 soul rings shattered simultaneously, pouring their combined soul power into the clear sky hammer. The hammer swelled to immense size, radiating a blood-red light that pierced the heavens. As Tang Hao swung it back in a desperate counterattack, this hammer was Tang Hao's everything. He knew Qian Daolu was a match for his grandfather Tang Chen. At level 92, he was no match for Qian Daolu. This was a do-or-die gamble, his only shot at survival. The impact was earth-shattering, creating a massive mushroom cloud. Qian Daolu hadn't expected such ferocity from Tang Hao, and he was blasted back, caught off guard by the force of the blow that rivaled a level 99 title Douluo. Tang Hao fared no better. Blood gushed from his mouth as the shockwave hurled him backwards, smashing him through several mountains. He hit the ground running, not daring to look back. Qian Daolu emerged from the crater, seemingly unscathed, and made no move to pursue. Several figures in red robes, members of the Spirit Hall, knelt before Qian Daolu, their voices trembling. Grand Priest, should we continue the hunt for Tang Hao? No need, Qian Daolu said calmly, his voice devoid of emotion. Just then, a soul saint with golden eagle wings descended, carrying one of the babies, the son Tang Hao had been forced to abandon. The golden eagle soul sage respectfully inquired, Great worshipper, this is Tang Hao's son. Do we? He gestured, miming slitting a throat. Qian Daolu spoke slowly, his eyes filled with a complexity of emotions. Bring him back. He's worth more alive than dead. As you command. As they flew back to Spirit Hall, the baby opened his eyes, revealing a look that suggested he was anything but ordinary. So, I've been reincarnated into Douluo continent. Thinking of where he was being taken, he laughed inwardly. His fate was going to be a wild ride. Chapter 2, Adoptive Mother Bibi Dong, named Bibi Han. You are listening at novelfull.audio. In a hidden chamber of the Spirit Hall, a beautiful woman was practicing. Her skin was pale, and she had a voluptuous figure. An eerie green aura enveloped her, twisting her flawless features into something almost sinister. after a while, she finished and slowly opened her eyes, exhaling softly. Finally digested it. The first trial of the Rakshasa god is complete. One more spirit ring and I'll break through to the titled Douluo level. Xian Daolu, you think letting me go earns you my gratitude? You're wrong. When that beast imprisoned me and fathered Xiaoxue while you stood by, your fate was sealed. Sooner or later, I will kill you and tear down the angel family's foundation. The speaker was Bibi Dong, the current saint of the spirit hall. Her eyes were bloodshot, like a demon risen from hell, and her voice dripped with murderous intent. Emerging from the secret chamber, her face was calm, as if nothing had happened. She summoned a cardinal to inquire about recent events. Your Majesty, the high priest failed to capture Tang Hao, and the Clear Sky School has retreated from the world. He did, however, bring back a child, apparently Tang Hao's son. Bibi Dong sneered inwardly. Tang Hao, barely a titled Douluo, and even a demigod like you couldn't kill him? Is Tang Hao really that unstoppable, or did you let him go on purpose? But Tang Hao's kid, that's interesting. The baby was in a room staring blankly at the ceiling, his life a cycle of crying when hungry and sleeping after feeding. Soon, a woman in a luxurious black robe trimmed with gold and a 9-curved amethyst crown made her way toward the papal palace. It was Bibi Dong, recently installed as pope, though her mood seemed dark. Damn it, Xian Daolu never had my best interests at heart. Popes of every generation could mobilize all the elders except those in the Hall of Elders, yet I'm stuck with only 2 titled Douluo, Ju and Gui. Even if I wanted to borrow someone to get my 9th spirit ring, I'm hamstrung. Just then, Bibi Dong heard a baby crying. She glanced at the room next to her and pushed open the door. Inside, a baby was wailing. A baby? Could this be Tang Hao's son? A woman with the scent of milk on her came in, the wet nurse. She knelt respectfully upon seeing Bibi Dong. Your Majesty, the Pope. Get up. Thank you, Your Majesty. Tell me, was this baby brought back by the High Priest? Your Majesty, I don't know anything about that. I was just told to be the baby's wet nurse. Bibi Dong nodded. Just do your job. Watching the nanny carefully pick up and feed the baby, Bibi Dong's eyes clouded, and her expression was complex. After observing them for a moment, she left. That evening, after finishing her duties, Bibi Dong headed toward her chambers. She saw the room again and couldn't resist going in. Bibi Dong knew the baby's identity. He was indeed Tang Hao's son. The baby was still staring blankly at the ceiling, thinking about his future. Would he be raised by the spirit hall to be a tool for killing, or would he be killed if he resisted? Even though Tang Hao had abandoned him, he didn't hate him because he knew Tang Hao wouldn't have done so on purpose. Hearing someone enter, his dull eyes turned to Bibi Dong. The baby knew Bibi Dong's identity. The nurse had told him that morning. He smiled at Bibi Dong because she would avenge his mother's murder. Although she was the Pope of the Spirit Hall, the harm didn't affect her family. People who killed his mother were all dead except for a seriously injured titled Douluo. An ordinary person can make a baby smile at him, let alone her benefactor. That smile suddenly changed the baby's place in Bibi Dong's heart. At that time, Bibi Dong had no apprentices, no friends, and her daughter was away, leaving her heart filled with hatred. That smile was like a ray of sunshine on Bibi Dong's nearly frozen heart. After the secret room incident, Bibi Dong smiled. The smile made the room much brighter. Gradually, Bibi Dong began to play with him, and eventually, she even rocked him to sleep. He was a baby and didn't have much energy. Even though Bibi Dong's skills were lacking, he still fell asleep. Before leaving, Bibi Dong looked at the sleeping baby with tenderness. He's so cute. All babies are so cute. Then her tone shifted. Swear, should you swallow your pride and become a maid so I can recognize you? But I just don't know how to face you. Bibi Dong looked pained and shed tears of sadness. She glanced at the baby once more, then left. After that, Bibi Dong often visited and played with him. After he was weaned, she took him to her chambers and gave him toys and food. Little guy, are you being good? I brought you a new toy. Bibi Dong's face was brighter now. I can't keep calling you little guy. What should I name you? Tang. No. Why should I give you the Tang surname? I'm raising you, you should have my surname. Shuehua, Bingxue. Hanxue, yeah, Bibi Dong chuckled. From today on, I'll call you Bibi Han, Hanner, Xiaogang. Okay, the baby smiled and seemed to like the name, saying 2 words, Mom. Bibi Dong shuddered, lifting him with both hands. Say it again. She pleaded, there was no hesitation in the baby, the woman raising him should be called Mom. Okay. I have a baby now, and I'm not alone anymore, since then, a baby named Bibi Han was born, and his mother, Bibi Dong, taught him how to read and write and spent his childhood with him. Chapter 3: The Origin and Responsibilities of Wuhun Palace. You are listening at novelfull.audio. In a small room at Wuhun Palace, a young boy, barely 4 feet tall with short blue hair, a plain face, and fair skin, was pumping out push-ups, 97, 98, 99, 100. Hanner, chow time. A warm voice called. Coming. He dashed to the bathroom, toweled off, changed, and headed for the dining room. His mother, Bibi Dong, was already waiting. Bibi Han grinned and slid into the seat next to her. Bibi Dong ruffled his hair. Working out again, huh? Gotta. The books say soul masters explode if their bodies can't handle the soul ring's power. So, the stronger I am, the longer I can absorb the rings. I want to get ripped and have the crazy combo of purple and 4 black rings, so everyone knows how awesome Mom's kid is and brings you glory. Bibi Han said, his expression serious. That's my boy. Mom believes in you. Dig in and eat what you like. Looking at the spread on the table, Bibi Han's mouth watered. He grabbed his chopsticks. Alright, all those push-ups at his age. These gourmet meals definitely helped. Mom, can I have the key to the top floor of the library? Why? Bibi Dong hesitated. She didn't want him going up there, to a place filled with things she hated. Because I've read almost everything else. Only the top floor's left. Pretty please, Mom. Bibi Dong considered it, then handed him the key. Thanks, Mom. Eat up. Mornings were for working out, afternoons for reading. That's how Bibi Han spent his days. And he could plow through so many books because he was born with a photographic memory. When Bibi Dong heard this, she was floored. Talent usually means a good memory and a knack for learning, but even she didn't have a photographic memory. She knew of only one genius who did. Watching Bibi Han leave, worry clouded Bibi Dong's face. She murmured, Xiaogang, if you actually see him up there, you're on your own. If you're truly that gifted, my strength isn't enough to protect you right now. 6 flights of stairs later, Bibi Han reached the 7th floor, the very top. The library pavilion had 7 floors, each with books of increasing value. The first floor was open to anyone from Wuhun City and held basic stuff. The other floors required special permission. The 7th floor was off-limits to anyone except the Pope and elders. Technically, the Sun and Saint could go too, but for some reason they couldn't. And if the Sun and Saint couldn't, then elders of equal rank couldn't either, unless they had a special key. At the door of the 7th floor, 2 beefy contra-warriors stood guard, just one door, guarded by Soul Douluo. That showed how seriously Wuhun Palace took this place. Even the Pope's palace guard was just a soul king. Their voices were cold, devoid of emotion. Just 2 words, key. Bibi Han held out his hand, and the key appeared. They stepped aside, stepping into the small room on the 7th floor. Bibi Han immediately felt a sense of gravity. No heavenly treasures, rare materials, or soul bones here, but for Wuhun Palace, the items here were more valuable than all that combined. History books. There weren't many, but they showed their age. A huge picture dominated the front wall, taking up a quarter of the space. It was called Angel Suppressing Evil. It depicted an angel with 6 wings and stunning beauty, a Valkyrie holding a sword over an ugly, bloodthirsty, and cruel soul master. Bibi Han grabbed some books, starting with a simple one titled History of Wuhun Palace. Year, month, Martial Soul Hall was founded and has been around for tens of thousands of years. Thousands of years ago, evil soul masters ran wild, causing widespread suffering. Then, a woman with 6 wings appeared. Her eyes were full of compassion, and her sacred aura terrified the evil soul masters. She was so powerful she could defeat countless of them with just her sword, and she established Wuhun Palace. Heroes from all walks of life joined forces to destroy the evil soul masters and end their reign of terror. When she killed the great elder of the evil spirit master, a level 99 extreme Douluo of terrifying power, the entire continent revered the angel god, who broke through level 100 and ascended to godhood. She left Wuhun Palace to continue suppressing the evil soul masters and safeguard peace. Closing the book, Bibi Han was speechless. Wuhun Palace's history was even longer than that of the 2 empires. No wonder some said the empires were downplaying the influence of gods to maintain their own power. Having read the original story, he knew how awful the imperial nobles were. Bibi Han sneered. "Oh, imperial power is supreme? I'll show you what true supremacy looks like in the future." Reading the book, kid, a friendly voice spoke. Bibi Han turned to see an old man, maybe 60, in a simple gray robe and with a kind face. "Yeah, learning a lot," Bibi Han replied. He had no idea who the old man was. His mother hadn't told him who could come here, so he just assumed his own status was enough. The old man seemed curious. "Oh. What have you learned?" Bibi Han thought for a moment, then shared his thoughts. The old man nodded. "Yes, evil soul masters do exist, and you can't wipe them all out. Their lust for power and twisted minds corrupt them." "Grandpa, if a soul master is constantly bullied, will he become an evil soul master?" Bibi Han asked. The old man replied, "It's possible. If bullying warps their minds, and they seek power down a dark path, they might become evil." Bibi Han had never seen Do-Er, but he'd heard stories. The evil soul master Do-Er was causing chaos, and people were suffering. Shrek, supposedly the strongest force on the Spirit Hall side, rallied dozens of titled Douluo to fight the Sun and Moon continent, but they couldn't kill the evil soul master. And the Haotian sect hid away, unwilling to help, but they were happy to protect Tang Wudong. Clearly, the common folk were less important than dogs to the nobles. Bibi Han narrowed his eyes. "I get it." That was a double meaning. After that, the 2 of them, one young and one old, chatted until dusk. Almost dinner time. "Goodbye, Grandpa." The old man smiled, watched Bibi Han leave, and then vanished. Chapter 4 Martial Soul Awakening. You are listening at novelfull.audio. On the way to dinner, Bibi Han was lost in thought. He wouldn't betray his mother, Bibi Dong, but he also couldn't allow her to destroy Spirit Hall in the future, despite the darkness within Spirit Hall, and how mainland nobles viewed it as a threat to be eliminated. It served as a shield, protecting ordinary citizens from rogue spirit masters. Cases like Demon King Zhao Wuji, who was forced into hiding to avoid Spirit Hall's pursuit and harming civilians, were common. Spirit Hall guarded the soul-hunting forest, preventing soul beasts from causing chaos. They suppressed evil spirit masters, forcing them into the shadows, and even had a contract with the King of Slaughter to manage Slaughter City. Bibi Han sighed. Strength is key, he thought. Only with power can I do what needs to be done. Only with strength can I protect Spirit Hall. Tang San, my brother, I don't care if you were reincarnated or took over a body. The fact that you took care of Tang Hao for 3 or 4 years is enough for me to acknowledge you. I don't want to fight you. A few days later, in the Awakening Hall, Bibi Dong stood there, holding Bibi Han's hand. Greetings, Your Majesty the Pope. Everyone in the hall knelt on one knee. Rise. Thank you, Your Majesty. Honor, it's time to awaken your spirit. Yes, Mom. Bibi Dong spoke solemnly. Whether you can become a spirit master depends on this. Your innate soul power determines how far you'll go. No matter your talent, you'll always be my son. With her lifespan, even if Han had no soul power, she could ensure he lived a comfortable life, free from bullying. "I believe I'll awaken a good spirit," Bibi Han replied, fearlessly. He walked towards the hexagonal stone array, his eyes meeting his mother's, which were filled with encouragement and expectation. The Soul Emperor was in charge of the awakening ceremony. With Spirit Hall's vastness, awakenings happened all the time, so the rank was normal. Knowing this was the Pope's son, the Soul Emperor cautiously activated his soul power. A pale golden light enveloped Bibi Han, forming a protective mask. He felt as if he'd entered a warm space, and suddenly, two forces within him struggled to break free. Bibi Han raised his right hand, but no spirit appeared. The Soul Emperor and Soul Master glanced at the Pope with apprehension. Bibi Dong looked worried. "Increase the soul power output," she instructed. The Soul Emperor complied. Finally, Bibi Han felt a barrier shatter. He raised both hands, revealing a small hammer covered in black lumps and a common blue-silver grass. "Twin spirits!" everyone exclaimed, then quickly quieted. Neither spirit displayed any power. The more powerful a spirit, the stronger its force. The clear sky hammer's power increased with innate soul power, creating a domineering force. The 7-treasure glazed tile pagoda could be judged by the brightness of its 7 colors. But Bibi Han's spirits had no power. Were they useless spirits? Twin useless spirits? The thought crossed everyone's mind. Only Bibi Dong and the Soul Emperor Soul Master didn't think so. Bibi Dong sensed that the spirits were unique, and the Soul Emperor's face grew paler as he felt his soul power being drained. He was running out of strength. Once the spirits had absorbed all available soul power, they began draining Bibi Han's. "Mom," Bibi Han said, sounding strained, "give me soul power. I need more." Surprised, Bibi Dong stepped behind him, placing her hands on his back and channeling her soul power. She felt as if his body were a bottomless pit, constantly absorbing her energy. Then, 9 soul rings appeared, 1 yellow, 2 purple, 5 black, and 1 red. The soul masters in the hall stared at the red ring in shock. Red represented 100,000 years, a treasure because it meant the owner possessed a 100,000-year soul bone. They were invaluable. Even a 1,000-year soul bone could ignite a bloody conflict. As soul power flowed into the two spirits, they began to change. The black shell on the hammer spirit cracked, while the blue-silver grass turned golden, with blue lines emerging. When the shell shattered completely, a golden hammer surrounded by purple electricity appeared. The golden blue-silver grass, covered in blue stripes, exuded an aura of life. The spirits released 2 beams of light. Those in the blue light felt refreshed, minor wounds healing, while those in the golden light experienced sluggishness, lacking experience. They didn't know what they were. Bibi Dong, however, recognized them instantly. She also had a domain. Bibi Han's appearance also changed dramatically. His short, light blue hair grew long, reaching his waist, and turned deep blue with strands of blonde. His plain face became fair, delicate, and extremely handsome. He would grow into a strikingly good-looking man. The awakening was complete. He put away his spirits. "Everyone, leave. Remember, apart from Han's appearance, everything else." Bibi Dong didn't finish, but the murderous intent in her eyes was clear. "Understood," everyone replied, quickly departing. The iron-blooded Pope's reputation was well known in the Spirit Master world. Once the door closed, Bibi Dong pinched Bibi Han's soft cheeks, enjoying the feeling. "Mom, stop it," Bibi Han complained. "Honor, release your 2 spirits and show them to me." Yes, this feels like, star. "What are the names of these 2 spirits, Honor?" Bibi Dong asked. Bibi Han frowned slightly. "Blue-silver god, Haotian divine hammer." "The name Haotian divine hammer doesn't sound good. This spirit will be called Haotian hammer from now on. Spirits named after gods, radiating divine aura." "Wonderful, wonderful." Bibi Dong exclaimed excitedly. She produced a soul power ball larger than the one in the awakening hall. "Honor, test your innate soul power." Bibi Han placed his hand on it. The ball lit up intensely. 20, innate full soul power level 20. "My good son, my good son, my good son." Chapter 5 Mysterious Gift Package, Golden Crocodile Douluo. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Bibi Dong brought Bibi Han to the Pope's palace. Hey Grandpa Ju, Grandpa Ghost, Bibi Han greeted them. He called them that because they'd cared for him like elders while he was growing up, and they were a generation above him. Tang Hao claimed he killed one of the two title Douluo the Pope brought and seriously injured the other. Ju and Ghost Douluo always worked together on important matters, so they weren't the title Douluo who persecuted Bibi Han's biological mother. He was comfortable calling them Grandpa. Are you Xiaogang? They asked, surprised. Yep, I awakened my martial soul and got handsome in the process, Bibi Han replied with a nod. Bibi Dong walked straight to the Pope's throne, stepped onto it, and her entire demeanor changed. The iron-willed female Pope was present. Elder Ju, Elder Ghost, she said plainly, Xiaogan's martial soul has awakened, and his innate soul power is level 20. Bibi Dong told them without hesitation because, besides Bibi Han, they were the only two with unwavering loyalty to the Spirit Hall and they considered Bibi Han a junior. What? Level 20. That's like the young master. Seeing Bibi Dong's face grow colder, they quickly stopped talking. Hard work sets the floor, talent sets the ceiling. In the Soul Master world, innate soul power determines the ceiling. Innate level 7 is the bare minimum to become a title Douluo, but you also need a top-tier martial soul, hard training, and plenty of resources. If it's not a top-tier martial soul, even with incredible luck, you'll top out around level 89 Spirit Douluo. With innate level 8, you can become a title Douluo even without a top-tier martial soul, but resources are crucial, like the title Douluo in the Elder Hall. Even without sufficient resources at innate level 9, you can still become a title Douluo. And within the Spirit Hall, you might even make it to the Hall of Elders. Innate level 10, also known as full innate soul power, marks a genius seen once in a century. As long as you don't slack off and have a horrible teacher, becoming a title Douluo is basically guaranteed. No one dares to dream of being born at level 20. To neglect cultivation and still have the highest soul power among your peers, that's terrifying. Ju and Ghost Douluo were happy, but also deeply worried. They knew they couldn't stand up to the Elder Hall. If the Elder Hall saw Bibi Han's insane talent and his Haotian sect connection, things could get ugly. Bibi Han left after meeting Grandpas Ju and Ghost. Back in his room, he could barely contain himself. After he awakened his martial soul, he'd heard a voice, "Hello, time traveler. I'm here to deliver a newbie gift pack. From now on, you'll get a gift pack every 10 levels. You have 2 gift packs right now. Want to open them?" Bibi Han didn't hesitate. Of course, he wanted to open them. What will I get? Bibi Han wondered eagerly. 2 beams of light landed in his hands. He looked at them, eyes widening, and lost his cool for the first time in 6 years. You've gotta be kidding me. That the items were. The Encyclopedia of Martial Soul Theory. Encyclopedia of Soul Beasts, *, why do I need these? I've already raided the Spirit Hall library, *, these are useless. Can I exchange them? Bibi Han asked. No. Once you open the gift pack, this system is designed to leave. In the future, gift packs will open automatically when you reach level 10. This is indefinite. The voice disappeared, and Bibi Han was stunned. *, I must be the most pathetic golden finger host ever. *, forget it, I'm already 6 years old. What's there to be sad about? Xiaogang. A gentle voice called. It was his mom. Mom, are you going to teach me how to train? His mother smiled. Mom wants to introduce you to someone. Who? Bibi Han asked. Someone who can help you make the most of your gifts. Bibi Dong took Bibi Han to an arena where an old man was waiting. The old man had a white beard and hair and looked to be over 80. He wore a golden robe with a ferocious crocodile embroidered in silver, *, that outfit. A Hall of Elders member. And that martial soul, *, Bibi Han knew who he was, the Spirit Hall's second elder and Hall of Elders member, level 98 Golden Crocodile Douluo, the one Tang Hao would humiliate with 3 hammer strikes. Golden Crocodile glanced at Bibi Dong, then at Bibi Han. His eyes widened, and he said in surprise, innate soul power level 20. It's true. Then, with a touch of sarcasm, Golden Crocodile said, Pope, that's quite a kid you've got there. You want him to be my apprentice even though he's green as grass, Bibi Han was even less amused. This guy disrespected his mother right off the bat, and now he was mocking him. Bibi Han retorted, an old man who's about to kick the bucket wants to be my master. Golden Crocodile ignored Bibi Han and looked at Bibi Dong. Pope, is this how you teach your children? Some manners. He made manners sound like an insult. Bibi Han stepped forward. My courtesy is reserved for those who earn it. Someone who's rude to my mother doesn't deserve my politeness. He's got some fire in him. Then, Golden Crocodile tossed something in front of him, a piece of clothing. Put this on and run until I tell you to stop. If you stop before I say so, you're not worthy to learn from me. Bibi Han walked forward, thinking, it's just clothes. He picked it up and was shocked to find he couldn't lift it. Okay, not that simple. He lifted it with both hands. What's wrong? Can't even pick up a piece of clothing and you want to learn from me? Golden Crocodile mocked again. It's just clothes weighing 70 kilograms. Bibi Han put it on and started running laps, shoulders and arms burning, a good workout nonetheless. Lap after lap, even exhausted, he didn't stop. Bibi Han knew that his mother and the Hall of Elders were far from friends. She must have faced criticism for his sake. He wanted to prove them wrong and show them what he was made of. He lost count of the laps. Bibi Han's steps were weak, and his breathing heavy. He glanced over, saw his mother's worried eyes, gave her a reassuring smile, and then looked at Golden Crocodile. Golden Crocodile looked calm, but Bibi Han saw a flicker of emotion in his eyes, a hint of surprise. He smiled provocatively, the smile renewed him, and he ran faster until he ran out of steam and fell. Instantly, Bibi Dong caught him. Second Elder, Bibi Dong said, her tone icy. I'll take him as my apprentice. Golden Crocodile said simply. Bibi Han, having met his standards in terms of running distance and willpower, got his approval. Chapter 6 Golden Crocodile Body Refining Technique Level 1, Willpower. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Bibi Dong took Bibi Han away, then, Golden Crocodile Douluo found himself joined by another figure. If Bibi Han were there, he would recognize him as the old man from the library's 7th floor. Brother, why not just eliminate the kid? He's got off-the-charts talent and perseverance. He even outran Xiaogang. Give him time, and he'll be another Tang Qian. You know how I am. I took him as a disciple, so I'll act like one. The only one Gene Crocodile would call brother was Qian Douluo, Wuhun Palace's high priest. I've thought about this. You just handle your end, Qian Douluo replied. Qian Douluo returned to the angel statue, remembering what Bibi Han had declared when they spoke. If the empire and nobility are really like that, I'll bulldoze the whole damn thing. Qian Douluo murmured, I heard the conviction in your words. If you side with them later, even if it means Wuhun Palace splits, even if it means breaking my agreement with Tang Qian, I'll erase you myself. In a room in the Pope's palace, Bibi Han woke up in a medicinal-smelling vat, wearing only his underwear. Xiaogang, you're awake, a high-pitched voice chirped. Grandpa Ju, where am I? You passed out from exhaustion. Her Majesty the Pope sent you here to recover. But Xiaogang, you were incredible. You actually passed the second worshipper's test. This medicated bath was a tradition for top geniuses in Wuhun Palace. These baths were essential for injury prevention and enhanced physical strength, ensuring continuous training. Xiaogang, are you still sore? Ju Douluo asked. Nope. Not even a little. That's weird. Even with top-tier medicine, a full recovery is impossible, especially without an injury. Xiaogang, the second worshipper wants you back at the courtyard once you're awake. Neatly dressed, Bibi Han arrived in the courtyard where Jean Crocodile was sitting, drinking tea. Seeing Bibi Han, he said calmly, "You passed my test, but I need to see how you perform before I'll let you call me master." Bibi Han retorted, "That works for me. Saves you any future embarrassment for taking advantage of me." Grandpa Ju said the second worshipper's body training is the best on the continent. You better not be faking it, or it'll be a major letdown, star. Alright, kid, let's get to training. Golden Crocodile stood, and a wave of pressure crashed down on Bibi Han, forcing him to bend at the waist. Start running. Keep going until you're back in the same state as before. That the intense pressure compressed every part of Bibi Han's body, providing a comprehensive workout. Golden Crocodile's control over his soul power was remarkable. Bibi Han started running, staying within the range of Golden Crocodile's pressure field. That bastard Jean Crocodile can exert pressure and drink tea at the same time. Talk about living the life, star. Time blurred, and Bibi Han's consciousness began to fade. Remembering Golden Crocodile's pre-training words, he almost collapsed. Golden Crocodile's sarcastic voice cut through his exhaustion. "Don't you dare fall on purpose, or I'll kick you out immediately. Old geezer, who do you think you're talking to?" Bibi Han gasped. He ran until he truly blacked out. Instantly, Golden Crocodile released the pressure, scooped up Bibi Han, and tossed him to Douluo to continue the medicinal treatment. He would return to run, pushing himself to exhaustion, over and over, day after day. In the evening, Bibi Han collapsed on his bed. He had never felt this drained. His body was fine, but his spirit was utterly depleted. A knock on the door announced Bibi Dong's arrival. "Honor, how was training?" "Good. Boring, but effective. Rest well." "Good night, Mom." The next day, before dawn, a figure barged into his room and yanked Bibi Han out of bed. "Get up. Time to train." "Let go, old man." "Are you kidding me? It's the middle of the night." Jean Crocodile snapped, "This is the perfect time. You think geniuses sleep in? Get used to it. Get up." He repeated, then left. As they say, the master can only lead you to the door, the rest is up to you. Jean Crocodile only offered one reminder to his apprentices. "Ignore it, and you're out." Bibi Han reluctantly dragged himself to the courtyard. Seeing him, Jean Crocodile gave a slight, almost imperceptible smile. "Old man, same routine as yesterday?" "More or less. But add these." 4 pieces of cloth flew toward Bibi Han, resembling athletic tights, covering the hands and legs. The hand sections weighed 5 kilograms each, the legs 10. Combined with the Golden Crocodile's pressure, this would be brutal. "Old man, isn't this a little much? You're a level 20 innate genius. There's no one else like you on the continent. You've adapted to yesterday's training, so we naturally need to increase the load. Put them on and start running." The pressure returned, even stronger than the day before. Day after day, Bibi Han trained until he passed out, the difficulty increasing each time he adapted. 3 months later, Bibi Han ran 20 miles with 200 kilograms of weight strapped to his body, enduring pressure that would overwhelm an average Great Soul Master. With a grunt from Jean Crocodile, the first phase of training ended. Bibi Han collapsed, dragging his knees with his hands, struggling to breathe. 3 months had passed, and Bibi Han's skin was virtually unchanged, the sun's exposure having minimal effect. But his expression had transformed. His eyes now held resolve and respect for Golden Crocodile, though he still hadn't started calling him master. Beyond his expression, Bibi Han's physique had undergone significant changes. He was stronger, more powerful, and packed with muscle, possessing formidable strength. His clothes hid much of his definition, but shirtless, he would undoubtedly make any woman blush. He looked slim when dressed but was ripped when undressed. "Okay. Be here tomorrow for the second phase of training," Jean Crocodile said, then left. Chapter 7 Golden Crocodile Body Refining Technique Level 2, Endurance. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The next day, Golden Crocodile took Bibi Han to a hill that stood about 650 feet high. The mountain was oddly shaped. For the first 250 feet or so, it rose at an incredibly steep angle, almost 160 degrees. The next section, up to about 150 feet, was at a degree incline, and the final stretch was at roughly degrees. The path was a rough, uneven slope littered with jutting rocks of all sizes. There were also boulders scattered around, some only a few feet high, and they looked like they'd been hit by something. Golden Crocodile announced, "This is the training ground for this level." Suddenly, 5 heavy iron balls appeared, each weighing 100 pounds, linked together by an iron chain with a ring at the end. Looking at the iron balls and the mountain, Bibi Han immediately understood what he was supposed to do. Strap these on and climb to the top. It doesn't end until you make it. With that, he instructed Bibi Han to put on an extremely sturdy helmet. Hey, old man, a question just popped into my head. Soul masters are way more powerful than regular people. What happens if their soul power is sealed or their cultivation level is stripped away? Golden Crocodile paused to think. Well, they'd become a stronger version of an ordinary person. Their bodies have been nourished by soul power, so they'd be tougher than average. Ha! Soul power flows through the body and can be released, creating a barrier. If he focused it in his hands and feet, he could achieve incredible strength. If he used it to boost his eyesight, would he develop laser vision? Time to experiment. After strapping on the iron hoops, Bibi Han used his hands, feet, and core to propel himself towards the mountain. Even weighed down by the iron balls, he was still moving at a decent clip. But once the iron balls started up the slope, his pace slowed considerably. From the front, he looked like a spread-eagled figure, struggling upwards, back hunched over, step by agonizing step, veins bulged on his hands and neck, and his face flushed crimson. With each step, Bibi Han gasped for breath. Golden Crocodile Douluo, watching from a distance, stroked his beard. Not bad. He made it about 200 feet high with the weights dragging him back 180 feet on his first try. That kid hauled himself up about 110 pounds in weight. This strength will be good for hammer training in the future. But as he descended, Golden Crocodile's face grew troubled as he contemplated what was coming next. Going up again, or rather, scrambling, Bibi Han was almost completely spent. Suddenly, his feet slipped, and he lost control. His eyes widened as he pleaded for help. "Help me, you old geezer," but his plea was ignored. Bibi Han tumbled downwards, accelerating to over 13 feet per second. Because of the uneven rocks, the iron balls bounced and spun in every direction. Bibi Han's body was thrown into a chaotic series of rolls. And because the iron ring was still attached to him, the iron balls were tethered, dragging him along for the ride. All that force was concentrated on him. As he hurtled down the mountain, rocks tore at his skin, and the relentless pull of the iron balls made him feel like he was dying. Finally, he slammed back onto the ground, and the iron balls ricocheted off the surrounding rocks, about to collide with his mangled body. At the last moment, Golden Crocodile intervened, stopping the iron balls. Without his intervention, the double impact of his fall and the iron balls would have shattered his bones. But even so, Bibi Han's body crashed into the iron balls. Arg! The scream was agonizing. Bibi Han's body was a bloody mess. He was covered in cuts, some so deep that bone was visible. Blood poured out, staining his clothes crimson. His clothing was shredded, his face obscured by the helmet, but his eyes burned with hatred. He glared at Golden Crocodile, his previous respect gone. Why didn't you help me?" His voice was weak, but his hatred was clear. "This is part of our clan's physical training, using injuries to toughen yourself," Golden Crocodile said, his face impassive. "Talent and fast cultivation alone don't make a true genius. Real genius is forged in countless battles and bloodshed means injuries are inevitable. They're essential. If you're afraid of pain, you can always quit." Golden Crocodile gestured, and 2 healing soul saints appeared, already prepared. "They will treat your injuries. If you choose to give up, go get the soul ring." With that, Golden Crocodile walked away. Though the blue-silver god had powerful healing abilities, without a soul ring and only level, he couldn't compare to the two soul saints under their ministrations. Bibi Han was completely healed in under a minute, and the rage in his eyes subsided. Thank you, soul saint uncles. After thanking them, Bibi Han sat on the ground, motionless. For a long time, isn't my goal to bring peace and prosperity to the continent? Isn't it to wipe out the two empires and the blood-sucking nobles who prey on the common people? If I balk at some old guy's family's training, how will I ever achieve that? He started up the hill again, and kept going. About 1,600 feet away, two figures stood watching. One was Golden Crocodile. The other, a woman in a luxurious black robe trimmed with gold, wore a 9-section purple gold crown on her head. It was Bibi Dong. As a mother, there was no way she would miss her son's ordeal. Her eyes were glistening with tears, and her face was a mixture of worry, pain, and relief. Golden Crocodile Douluo didn't show so much emotion, his face was purely relieved. Pope, you've raised a fine son. With some honing, he'll accomplish great things. Given time, Xiaogang will be extraordinary. As the patriarch of the Golden Crocodile clan, he had also almost given up once, but his father had forced him to continue. Because Golden Crocodile's martial spirit was the Golden Crocodile King, a super spirit passed down through generations of the Golden Crocodile family, those days were his darkest. After that, no other young members of the clan had awakened the Golden Crocodile King's spirit, and they couldn't endure the pain, so no one had tried this training in a long time. Bibi Han was the first to continue the challenge on his own, so he was gone. A truly good child needs no supervision. Chapter 8, Training completed, obtain soul ring. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Bibi Han was still pushing himself, now up to 56 meters. The sheer physical strain was making him want to quit, but he knew he couldn't. Gotta get stronger every time. Let's go, Bibi Han, keep climbing. Point 60.7, 60.8, 60.9, 70, he lost his grip. Bibi Han tumbled down again, this time landing safely at the bottom thanks to an agility-type soul saint who blocked the iron ball for him. The soul saint looked at Bibi Han with admiration, not for his strength, but for his sheer grit and courage. Finally, after reaching a height of 75 meters, Bibi Han completely collapsed from exhaustion and passed out. Bibi Han woke up in his room, still filled with the familiar scent of medicinal herbs. Grandpa Ju, how long was I out? About an hour and a half. Wow, that long. That looking at the medicinal bath, Bibi Han sensed something was different. Grandpa Ju, is this medicinal bath different from the ones I've had before? It feels way more effective. No, that's not possible, Ju Douluo said quickly. Come on, Grandpa Ju, don't try to pull one over on me. I know that if you had a medicinal bath this potent, you would have given it to me ages ago. You wouldn't have waited until now. There's only one explanation, this is someone else's recipe, Bibi Han stated confidently. Alright, you got me. Xiaogang gave it to me. It's a family treasure of theirs. You absolutely can't tell anyone. Ju Douluo said, a little scared. The second worshipper, a level 98 peak Douluo, could easily take down a dozen like him. Okay, I understand. So the old guy has a side like this, he thought. He doesn't want anyone else to know about this. After this, he couldn't help but admire the old man. Back in front of the hill, the Golden Crocodile seemed to be waiting for him. Approaching him, Bibi Han bowed respectfully and said, Master. The Golden Crocodile chuckled and looked into Bibi Han's eyes. That little Xiaoju told you about the medicated bath, huh? Sounds like he's asking for it. Bibi Han was speechless. Xiaoju. Little guy. This guy calls himself Grandpa Ju, and you're calling him little guy. If you call him little guy, wouldn't that make me a little guy? Still, this guy seemed twice as big as his great-grandfather Tang Qian, so maybe he had a point. No, I figured it out because the medicinal bath was so much more powerful, Bibi Han replied. Humph, I haven't exactly agreed to take you on as my apprentice yet. Bibi Han smiled and replied, sure you have, master. So, Bibi Han continued his training. after soaking in the medicinal bath provided by his master, Bibi Han's body became even stronger. Eventually, Bibi Han reached 79 meters. That evening, Bibi Han returned to his room and used the gentle soul power of the blue-silver god to soothe his eyes. He was still practicing, the two didn't conflict. There was a knock on the door. Mother. Honor, how was your training today? Still hurting? Mom, you know me too well. Yeah, it hurts, but it's worth it, Bibi Han replied casually. Then he raised his fist and said, even though I've only been training for 1 day, I feel like I could pin my old self to the ground after completing the first stage. His mother nodded and said, on the path to strength, injuries are inevitable. Bruises and scrapes are normal. In a fight, if you're not afraid of pain, you'll have a huge edge over opponents of equal strength. Got it, thanks, Mom. The next day, Bibi Han returned to the hill to keep training. I fell 8 times yesterday. I'll try to fall more times today. Bibi Han put on the hoop and charged forward. That's right, I'm sprinting, which uses more energy and makes it harder. Sure enough, he couldn't make it past 60 meters. Sprint again, fall again, sprint again, fall again. A week later, Bibi Han could sprint all the way to 80 meters. Besides hard work, the powerful medicinal baths deserved part of the credit. A month and a half later, Bibi Han reached 160 meters. After 4 months, Bibi Han finally completed the first stage of training, sprinting to the top of the mountain and looking down, filled with emotion. That wasn't easy. After all that pain, I finally conquered this mountain. Well done, the golden crocodile said happily, suddenly appearing beside Bibi Han. Master, I understand what you were trying to do, Bibi Han said gratefully. Oh. Tell me, what was I trying to do? The first stage was mainly to build my willpower, to keep going until the very end, and the pressure on my body was to prepare me for the second stage. The second stage was primarily to build my endurance, so that I wouldn't back down in battle for fear of getting hurt. He thought, how many young masters and ladies of big families duck away from punches or give up on landing a fatal blow just to avoid getting disfigured. The golden crocodile nodded. So, what's next? Should I increase the weight of the iron ball? No, your medicinal bath training is complete. More of the same won't do much good. It's time for you to get your soul ring. Finally, the time had come to obtain his soul ring. He had been training his body for so long just for this. Bibi Han clenched his fists in excitement. The next day, Bibi Han was dressed and ready to go. It was his mother, Bibi Dong, and Douluo who would lead him to obtain his spirit ring. He wasn't surprised that Douluo was taking him, but he hadn't expected his mother to come along too. Because of training, Bibi Han had been spending less time with Bibi Dong, and she knew he sometimes even skipped meals, so she had put aside her work to be with him. Several luxury carriages were prepared, one for the mother and son, one for Douluo, and several. Chapter 9: A Bold Attempt. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Feeling the speed of the cart, Bibi Han couldn't help but think that the Douluo continent was lagging behind. Even though the cart was pulled by a millennium wind-chasing horse, a docile soul beast capable of traveling great distances, it still wasn't as good as an airplane back on Earth. Inside the carriage, Bibi Han asked, Mom, what kind of soul ring should I be aiming for? Bibi Dong smiled gently. To figure out what kind of soul ring to absorb, you first need to understand your martial soul. Honor, do you know its key characteristics? Bibi Han summoned her blue-silver god martial soul, instantly making the atmosphere in the carriage noticeably more pleasant. Blue-silver grass sprouted from the ground on either side, swaying gently. Life, Bibi Han stated. Bibi Dong nodded. Exactly. It can grow practically anywhere, from deserts to snow-capped mountains, as long as it has a little soil and nutrients. It's naturally suited for healing and support. Hearing this, Bibi Han couldn't help but think about the original story, recalling Tang San's fight with Tang Liang. There wasn't much blue-silver grass on the mountaintop then. She remembered her biological mother, Ain, traveling across the land as a doctor, healing injured soul beasts and people. The thought tugged at her heart. Mom, Title Douluo's senses were sharp. Bibi Dong immediately noticed. Honor, what's wrong? Are you not feeling well? No, I just feel down thinking that after working so hard, I'll just be stuck playing a support role, hiding behind everyone else. Silly girl, blue silver grass isn't just about healing. It's also about control. How did Tang Hao and Ayin manage to avoid being hunted by the spirit hall for so long? It was precisely because of the Blue Silver Emperor's powerful control, leaving no trace. Blue Silver Emperor, Bibi Dong thought, *You specialize in healing and control, while I use poison and control. And now, your son is my adopted son. What are the odds? A few days later, the group entered the Do forest. As soon as Bibi Han stepped inside, she felt like she was coming home. Her blue-silver domain automatically activated, causing countless blue-silver grass to grow wildly, creating a soothing atmosphere that instantly erased everyone's travel fatigue. Douluo exclaimed, incredible. I feel better than ever. All my functions are at their peak. The others nodded in agreement. Bibi Dong turned to Bibi Han. Xiaogang, what abilities does this domain have? I'm not sure yet. I only know that it enhances my martial soul's healing power. I'll have to explore it further to see what else it can do. I do know that within the forest, the domain's soul power consumption is halved, and I can keep it active for longer. Looking at the swaying blue-silver grass, Bibi Dong said, that's probably because the surrounding grass is sharing its soul power with you. The group split into 3. Bibi Han and Bibi Dong went together, while Douluo and Ghost Douluo teamed up to find a soul beast around 700 years old for her to absorb. Soon after, Douluo returned, carrying an animalistic soul beast. Bibi Han wasn't surprised. The spirit hall had known for a while that animals could absorb plants, and plants could absorb animals. Her ancestors had boldly experimented with this, otherwise they wouldn't be able to absorb animalistic souls. Douluo then returned, carrying a holy light unicorn of about 720 years, and tossed it on the ground. The unicorn was nearly dead, a large gash across its neck. Honor, finish it. This is what you have to do. You can only obtain a soul ring by delivering the final blow, Bibi Dong said. Bibi Han picked up the dagger and thought, I'm sorry, soul beast. She lowered her hand, and the soul ring appeared. Mom, what should I do now? Focus on it with your mind, then use your martial soul to absorb it. As Bibi Han concentrated on the soul ring, preparing to absorb it, she frowned slightly and stopped. Honor, what's wrong? My martial soul seems to be telling me that this soul ring is too old, that it doesn't want to absorb it. Everyone looked surprised. While it was true that a martial soul was a part of their body, they had never heard of a martial soul giving such feedback. Xiaogang, are you sure you heard that correctly? Bibi Han nodded. Your Majesty, the Pope, what should we do? Douluo asked. Keep searching until you find the perfect fit. So, Mom, does that mean we're going to be killing a lot of soul beasts randomly? Bibi Dong replied nonchalantly, soul beasts are born to increase the strength of us soul masters. Their lives aren't important. Besides, these are just low-level soul beasts. As long as we don't go after high-level ones, it's not like we're killing indiscriminately. Bibi Han paused, then said, Mom, I just had an idea. I'll send a mental message to the blue-silver grass and have it guide me to the most suitable soul beast. Bibi Dong's eyes lit up. That's a great idea. Let's do it. Guided by the blue-silver grass, they soon arrived at a plant over 10 feet tall. That's a soul vine, Douluo said. Soul vines absorb the soul power of whatever creature it entangled, using it to strengthen itself. Once a soul vine reached 10,000 years old, it could even absorb life force. Only 10,000-year-old soul vines that absorbed life force were truly considered evil soul beasts. Well, this actually works. Vines that absorb soul power naturally have incredible toughness, making them perfect for a control-type soul ring, but it's too old, Bibi Han said regretfully. 10 feet tall meant over 3,000 years old, too advanced for even a third soul ring. Not suitable for a fourth, either. Honor, Let's find a younger one. No, Mom, this is perfect. I can feel my martial soul craving it. Mom, you know about martial soul suppression, right? Martial soul suppression was when a higher-level martial soul of the same type suppressed a lower-level one. Just like how the Blue-Silver Emperor released its aura in the original story, immobilizing the Soul Emperor and other Ghost King vines. I believe I can do it with my martial soul suppression and my physical strength. Strength-wise, even soul masters can't beat me. Mom, I believe I can do it. Chapter 10 Year 12 Ring. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Looking at Bibi Han's determined eyes, Bibi Dong relented. Alright, if there's any trouble, I'll step in immediately. The poor soul vine, sensing the powerful aura when we arrived, cowered in fear, but it couldn't escape its fate. After killing it, a purple soul ring materialized. Blue silver god, I sense your desire. Let's absorb it together. The process began, traction and absorption. Suddenly, intense heat surged through Bibi Han, threatening to tear her apart. She felt herself swelling from the inside out. No, the energy's too much. Xiaogang can't handle it. Douluo exclaimed, as Bibi Dong moved to intervene. The blue-silver god in Bibi Han's hand pulsed with power and lashed out, as if scolding the tiny soul vine for daring to resist. Bibi Han's swelling began to subside. Honor, stay focused. Bibi Dong urged. Her body and mind were submerged in a boiling ocean. Suddenly, a blue light enveloped Bibi Han, helping her withstand the scorching heat. Hours passed. Blue light and wisps of crimson mist swirled around Bibi Han. Teeth gritted, she fought with everything she had, refusing to yield. Everyone watched, brows furrowed with anxiety. This was it, the critical moment. Hang in there, Honor, hang in there. Bibi Dong's face was etched with worry. They couldn't interrupt now. Part of the soul ring had already begun to integrate with Bibi Han. If they stopped it, even if she survived, she might be crippled for life, unable to cultivate her powers. A collective sigh of relief swept through the group. Her Majesty the Pope has succeeded. We just need to wait for Xiaogang to fully absorb it before she awakens, Douluo announced. After some time, the soul ring fully merged. Bibi Han opened her eyes. Phew, Bibi Han exhaled, taking a deep breath. Honor, how do you feel? Bibi Dong asked, concerned. I told you not to worry, Mom. My spirit is part of me, how could it hurt me? That she clenched her fists. I feel amazing. All the fatigue from absorbing the soul ring is gone. I'm bursting with energy. What's your first soul skill? Bibi Dong pressed. It's called Devour. It allows me to devour an opponent's soul power, restoring 1% of my own soul power every second. Everyone exchanged impressed glances. The speed of devouring scales with my own soul power level. If I'm a soul sect, it restores 1% of my soul sect soul power. If I'm a soul king, it restores 1% of my soul king's soul power. Any excess power is expelled outwards. Best of all, it's passive, it doesn't cost me any soul power. Bibi Han added, a hint of pride in her voice. Whoa, the others were astonished. If that was true, Bibi Han's potential was limitless. In theory, she could single-handedly decimate an army of millions without tiring, a perpetual motion machine. Are god-level spirits all this powerful? Bibi Dong was ecstatic, but one last step remained. Honor, show me your soul skill. Let me see how tough your blue-silver grass really is. Elder Ju. Understood. The spirit was summoned, the soul rings appeared, the first glowing purple. Blue-silver grass, go. The golden blue-silver grass shot toward Douluo, so fast. Even a regular soul master would struggle to dodge that, Douluo thought, but he didn't want to dodge. He wanted to test the blue-silver god's durability. As the blue-silver grass wrapped around him, Douluo felt his soul power draining away, about 20% of a level 1 great soul master's power. Then, the pressure intensified, and he shattered the grass. Incredible. The toughness of this blue-silver grass is astonishing. Unless you're a great soul master specializing in strength, like the Ruli clan, all great soul masters would be drained dry and become helpless. Even intermediate soul masters would have to exert significant effort. Grandpa Ju, that's a bit of an exaggeration. A fire attribute soul master could burn my blue-silver grass away, Bibi Han pointed out. He. An awkward chuckle filled the air. Alright, Honor, let's find your next soul ring, Bibi Dong said. Mom, any suggestions? Bibi Dong was an unparalleled expert in soul theory, the first to overcome the backlash of twin spirits. After a moment of thought, Bibi Dong suggested, I recommend absorbing a sacred wood for your next ring. The sacred wood, a plant-type soul beast, primarily boosted the soul master's soul power reserves. The resulting soul skills, like blue-silver shields, would be redundant, as she could already use the blue-silver grass itself as a shield. True, the skill might be useless, but absorbing it will not only strengthen my blue-silver grass, but also speed up my soul power recovery, and the blue-silver god's healing abilities will also get a boost. Not bad, star. Okay, Mom. Bibi Han tapped into the blue-silver domain. What's wrong? Bibi Dong asked. Mom, I can't sense any sacred wood within my current range. Then keep looking, she replied casually. Bibi Han periodically expanded the blue-silver domain, checking for a sacred wood. Eventually, she found one. Mom, I found a promising target. Over there. After some walking, they reached a magnificent sacred tree. This tree is over 8,000 years old. Can Xiaogang really absorb it? Bibi Han reached out to the sacred tree with the blue-silver god, receiving a positive response from the blue-silver god, she replied confidently, yes. Bibi Han turned to Bibi Dong, seeking her approval. Seeing her worried expression, Bibi Han nodded reassuringly. Bibi Dong waved her hand, shattering the sacred tree's protective soul barrier, weakening it severely. The same process played out, and Bibi Han finally absorbed the spirit ring. Her first and second soul rings gleamed with the light of a millennium.